Now, it's time for the big story. West Portland Member of Parliament Daryl Vaz has accused opposition leader Mark Golding of hypocrisy regarding constitutional reform. Vaz points out that Golding supported a private member's motion back in December of 2021, moved by Michael Phillips, calling for Jamaica to move away from the British monarch. However, since revelations that Golding holds British citizenship, Vaz claims that Golding has made an about turn on this position, now advocating for a slower approach to constitutional reform. Vaz labels this stance as hypocritical, given Golding's own dual citizenship status. This morning, as we mentioned, we're joined by West Portland MP Daryl Vaz. He's on the line right now. Good morning, Minister.
Morning, Richard B. Morning to your listeners all around the world. I didn't realize that you were so extensive in your coverage.
Yes, it's very, very wide, Minister.
Very good.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thank you so very, very much. Now, can you, first of all, Minister Vaz, elaborate on what specifically constitutes hypocrisy from your perspective in Mark Golding's actions recently?
Okay, so let's just take it back a step for your listeners, especially those in the diaspora.
Yes.
You recall in 2008, I was taken to court by the PNP for dual citizenship because I was born in Jamaica, but my mother got U.S. citizenship by virtue of my mother being an American, born in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
The law states that you had you could not have dual citizenship for anywhere other than the Commonwealth. So anyway, I was taken to court, and we all know what happened with that. The court ruled a by-election, and I renounced my U.S. citizenship.
Yes.
We also had a situation a few years ago where a PNP candidate, a Canadian citizen, Dr. Shane Alexis, was running a by-election in St. Mary. And the whole issue of dual citizenship came back up, and it was very, very, very hotly debated. So we have a situation now where Mark Golding, the leader of the opposition, has been found to be a U.S. citizen, a UK citizen, and he has finally admitted to that after weeks of prodding and pressure from myself and others. Firstly, he was born in Jamaica, got UK citizenship from his parents, being British citizens. He did not declare when he became opposition leader. And the important factor to me is that he did not get a Jamaican passport until he was 46 years of age. And he only got one because of the fact that he was appointed a minister and required a diplomatic passport to carry out his duties. So in essence, he sat as a senator from 2007 to 11 without a Jamaican passport. And that in itself brings a real big problem to me. Firstly, on a fundamental issue as to whether a leader of the opposition and a possible prime minister or a prime minister should have dual citizenship. And I believe strongly they should not.
Okay.
They should have allegiance to one country, and that's the country that they are looking for the top position of. Mm-hmm. The law does not prevent Commonwealth citizens from having dual citizenship. So I'm not a lawyer, but that's what it says on the face of it, and that is now coming out in terms of different opinions, legal opinions. Up to today, Hugh Wildman is in the Gleaner with an opinion to say that that it's an issue. But I'm not a lawyer. I'm dealing more with morality. And the fact of the matter is that I believe that Mark Golding had a responsibility and an obligation to the Jamaican people when he became leader of the opposition 4 years ago to declare his citizenship. Now, to the point that you just raised, where in relation to the constitutional reform that is being debated and discussed, and a committee has been formed, he has changed his position from what he said in 2021 in relation to supporting a republic, now to basically indicating that we should slow the process down and he has issues with what is being proposed.
What is your issue? What is your issue with that approach?
Say again?
What is your issue then with that approach?
My issue, first of all, my issue is that he's compromised. And the fact of the matter that he is now known and has admitted to be a UK citizen. He should have declared that first and foremost to the Jamaican people. And secondly, now that that has come about, in terms of his position, personal position, which he has put forward against his party position, I believe that he's compromised based on the fact that we now know that he's a UK citizen. You can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And that's what's happening. He has 1 foot in the UK, 1 foot in Jamaica. And therefore, his thought process in relation to where we should go, I'm not sure where he stands in terms of his loyalty based on his inactions of getting a Jamaican passport for 46 years. My thing is more of a fundamental moral issue, because I'm not a lawyer. But I know that this matter is going to take a legal turn in terms of opinions from various lawyers and their opinions in relation to what his status is now as a Commonwealth citizen in relation to him being in the Parliament.
Because he's a lawyer, Mark Golding, and he has been holding on to that point that he's not doing anything illegal, because the Constitution of Jamaica does allow for Commonwealth citizens to be in the position he is and even emerge to become leader of the country for that matter. You don't... Yeah. Yes?
So again, I'm not a lawyer, and he obviously has his own interpretation and his own advice. As I said before, based on what I saw today in the Gleaner in relation to an opinion from New Wildman, I'm sure that there's going to be other opinions, and it may actually end up in a legal challenge for the court to decide, as they did in my case in 2008. But let me just make it clear: the two cases are completely separate. This is not a tit for tat. I'm not doing this out of revenge. I'm doing this on a principled position in terms of the fact that I believe strongly that he should have declared this position, knowing the nuances of dual citizenship in the politics and in the country in recent years. And the fact that he did not do that, he has a serious trust deficit among the citizens of Jamaica. Not one set of citizens, not one set of party supporters, well-thinking Jamaicans who can think independently must and will have an issue in relation to trust, in relation to loyalty and allegiance to Jamaica.
Do you have an issue with someone at the Member of Parliament level having dual citizenship, but not the leader?
You know, that is on the table now with the reform, with the reform, the Constitutional Reform Committee. There are some positions that have been put forward in relation to that. My own personal opinion on that, based on what transpired in terms of my own court case, is that I do believe that you should be a Jamaican citizen and have allegiance to nowhere else if you are going to serve in the Parliament of Jamaica. That's my own personal opinion. But as I said, I'm not an attorney. I'm not strong on it. In other words, I mean, whatever the consensus is in relation to the final consultations, and I do believe also that there has to be a part for diaspora members to play. Yes. Diaspora is a huge, probably population, probably more than what we have in Jamaica, of the 2.8 or 3 million. Yes. And they have keen interest in Jamaica. Most of them look forward to retiring in Jamaica after working hard over there for many, many years and decades. So there has to be some consideration in relation
for their voices.
How we treat their involvement in the running of the country.
The People's National Party came out blaming you for leaking information about Mark Golding recently on this matter. Are you at liberty this morning to say how you got the information and whether or not you actually leaked it? I've
said it publicly, and let me just go back again, Richard, because everybody Everybody who knows anything about me knows that I'm a straight shooter. So I say it as it is. The fact of the matter is that when my U.S. citizenship was exposed by the PNP in 2008,
yes,
I never issued any statement. I accepted that I was, and that I did not know that the fact that I renewed my passport, as the court ruled, was an act of allegiance. Because I didn't swear allegiance. I got my passport through my mother at birth. I didn't even know I had it. But leave that as it may. I didn't make any statement or blame anybody or ask anybody where they got the information. And the fact that the PNP is doing that now to try and say that there's a data breach, yeah, give me a break. I already stated publicly that I got the information from within the PNP.
Really?
And I've stated that publicly. And so therefore I'm not understanding why they are going the route of a data breach. I am not in charge of the passport office as a minister. And information comes to politicians on a daily basis, and information goes out on politicians on a daily basis. When you're in public life, you must be prepared to be scrutinized, and you must be prepared for persons to find information that are not in the public domain and to use it, if necessary, for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's a huge distraction. It is. I have not gotten any lawyer letter, any request for retraction of the information that I put out in the space. So it would deem to me that the information has been accepted as accurate information. And as I said before, I would not go out there unless I knew that the information I had was accurate and I verified it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when they come and talk about a data breach and whether or not we can trust needs and all of that, that's just a political distraction. The issue at hand, Richard B.,
yes,
is the fact that he has now declared, after 1 week of pressure, that he is a UK citizen, which he did not tell the people of Jamaica prior to this. Now, when it was forced and he was brought under pressure and had no alternative but to admit. That's my fundamental issue.
Yes. Do you think that the controversy as it is now will impact Mark Golding's political future on the opposition's credibility?
Well, put it this way, it has to. And the fact of the matter is unfortunate, but it has to. And the fact is, he has nobody to blame but himself. Based on what has transpired with dual citizenship from 2008 till now, and the interest that people have taken in it, it is absolutely a bad political judgment by him not to have come out openly. He had 3 opportunities to do so. He had the opportunity when he went to Parliament the first time as a senator in 2007. He had the opportunity when he applied for his Jamaican passport at 46 in 2011. And he had another opportunity when the constitutional reform debate started and the opposition was going to take part in it. Mm-hmm. He should have declared his position then. He is compromised and he has a huge trust deficit among well-thinking Jamaican people. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And he has nobody to blame but himself.
What is your call this morning? Are you like calling for him to step down? What's your call?
You know, Richie. Let me tell you something. I think Mark Golding has a few options to consider, which includes renouncing, which he says that if the people of Jamaica ask him to renounce, he will renounce, which I still can't understand that statement. Because I'm not sure what he wants the Jamaican people to tell him when he should know what is the right thing to do if he so desires to hold the highest office in Jamaica. I'm not quite sure what legal advice he will get and what political advice he will get and how he will move forward. But what I can say is that his position as of right now is incurable. He's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Because the fact is the damage has been done. And renouncing would be an admission of the fact that he should have done that. long ago, before reaching to the position that he has reached as leader of the opposition, and a possible prime minister in the future.
I want to get one more question in.
I can't advise Mark Goulding. He'll have to seek his advice, and of course, I'm sure he will do that in his own time.
All right. Finally, Minister Vaz, let's just say, what concrete steps do you propose to address the concerns around dual citizenship and political leadership in Jamaica?
Well, again, as I said before, it has to be a part of the constitutional reform, and that is being done by a bipartisan committee. And the fact is that I'm sure that report will be tabled for discussion and consultations, and whatever is the consensus from the wider society and their thoughts and inputs, I believe that it will be considered and we'll have a position at the end of the day. I'm not sure what that position will be. I'm not sure, if everybody will agree with it, because you probably won't ever get that. But at least, whatever it is, the Constitution will be amended to treat with current day rather than back when the Constitution was handed down to us.
Okay.
So let's wait it out and see. But again, as I said before, I am dealing with this issue with blinkers. I'm not dealing with this issue on a political basis. I'm dealing with it as a Jamaican, somebody who feels strongly on the position that he should have declared, and if he had loyalty and allegiance to Jamaica from birth, even if his parents did not get him a passport, which I still can't understand why they would have got him a Jamaican passport, when he became of age, he had a duty as a Jamaican citizen to get his passport, and he did not do that until he needed to do it. And that is what the Jamaican people will judge.
All right. Daryl Vaz, Minister, thank you so much for your time this morning.
All the best, Richard, and have a great
Labor Day. Labor Day, right.
Of course, all that's good to you and your listeners.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, a chat there with the Minister, he's a Minister of Science and Telecommunications and Transport, has a lot on his plate, and we got his perspective this morning on a number of key points that have been out there in the public sphere. We will continue these discussions, and we open up our platform to all of those who are involved and who would love to give a comment or say something on the issue. It's always like an open door policy. We still would love to have a chat with Mr. Mark Goulding, and we're hoping that will come through sometime very soon. Thank you once again, Daryl Vaz.